Hello YouTubers, tuber-wobers. So I was showing you a video of free TV. So this is called a Yagi antenna. I think it's YAGI. So at any rate, this is what I have on the top of my pole outside. The only thing is it's different. I used 36-inch brass rod, and this one is probably made up of like a coat hanger, although it does look like it might be a brass color. And you can just use a coat hanger, metal coat hanger, of course, not the plastic ones you can. But essentially what you do is you take a length of solid wire. This could even be copper wire, it might be what it is. You take a length of copper wire, say for example 3 feet, and then you would bend it in half and you would loop it around the screw so it goes off like this. It looks like the rabbit ears way back when we used to use. Another one this way and this way. This one has 4 of them on it. 4 seems to be the way it works. Then you take another piece of wire. You could either use the same stuff or you could just use any kind of wire. It should probably be copper or brass braided or something like that, but you don't want to use cheap aluminum, crappy wire. And you got to go around this screw, and then you're going to crisscross. So obviously you don't want to use something that's not insulated, because you don't want this to be shorting out. You go around this screw, crisscross to this side, around this screw, and this goes straight down this way, and then crisscrosses to over here to this one. And obviously this way is the opposite, around the screw, over here, over, straight down, and then over to here. And now in between, you're going to take, because generally speaking most of our TVs and tuners these days are all coax, as if it was cable TV or cable TV or satellite or anything. It all comes to the TV now through a coax RG59 or RG8 cable. And so you're going to get one of these transformers that's going to go from 300 ohms, which is the flat cable that you may remember from many years ago, and it's going to transform that. It's going to go from 300 to 75 ohms. So it's going to attach to these 2 points, and then on this end here it's going to be for your coax. And essentially if you had a TV antenna on the roof, you would have the same little thing right here at the bottom, and you want to bring it down in coax. Now you don't have to bring it down in coax. You could bring it down in 300 cable, in the 300 ohm flat cable, and then eventually go to this. But you're better off with coax because it's going to reduce noise and bring you the best signal. You want to get it over to that 75 ohm as soon as possible. Now, if you're within maybe 25-30 miles, maybe a direct line of sight, this may be all you need to connect up to a TV station or a bunch of TV stations. And there's some websites out there that you can put in your zip code or even your address, and it will tell you where you are in respect to a free-to-air TV broadcast. But if you have things like I am, I got trees, and I'm up at a higher altitude. I'm at about 1,500 feet. So you're not going to get a signal from here this way. So what you need to do is, Radio Shack, or you can go online. You want to get a signal amplifier for TV, and it will attach right here. You're going to come out of here like this. It's going to go into a short wire, and there's going to be a box here. If you looked at my video, you'll see a box up on the tower, and Then from there it comes out as a coax, and then it comes down and goes to your TV. And you know, you can, if you made this in such a way that you can rotate it and point it at certain stations, of course you gotta go outside and do it, or put it on a rotor. Maybe you can find a free rotor on, cheap rotor on Craigslist or something. Essentially you can either point it towards Albany or point it towards Springfield, Hartford, Connecticut direction. And they're not lined up right in a line. It's a little bit this way and a little bit this way. So it's this way and then probably this way. So, you know, yeah. It's kind of a dorky thingy, you know, and it's funny because, you know, the old TV antennas, the rabbit ears, were kind of made obsolete because of it going to digital. Now, essentially, most signals now are digital output coming from these towers. So, you know, that's the type of signal you're going to be picking up. And you might pick up an analog signal, but it's chances are all the stations have been converted over. But this is a very simple system. Now you can make these wires longer. I think my wires are like I think I actually used 3 feet, and I fastened them on in such a way, and then so I basically went out and then brought another one out, and then blah 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 all the way down, put it up on the tower. It's kind of a dainty thing because I used brass rod that I had from another project, but it's a fairly simple design, and you could take this and stick this up on your rooftop, or you want to get it up as high as you can. The higher you can get it, the better. A lot of people take these and put them, like it says, indoor TV antenna. So people put this up in their attic and they get a signal. But you have to have a good line of sight to the transmitter, and you're going to get free TV. And I like free. I don't see much need for cable. This is just a closer picture, but you see how the design is. You know, if you want to watch 300 stations, then pay for cable or satellite. But it's really kind of a nice way. And you know, if you're a prepper, you know, of some sort, or you wish to be prepared for, things that could happen. You know, a good sensible power failure could bring down your cable network. When I lived in the previous town, whenever we had a power failure, the cable network would go down until somebody went and pushed the reset button, I assumed, and brought the cable back up. You know, so lightning strike or power failure, things can take down that network, and it's good to have a backup. At least this way you can watch the news. You can get those emergency broadcasts. So they say they say it if you're on cable, but you may not find out what's going on in your area. So this is a pretty good explanation on that type of antenna. Now, what I had before is I had a screen behind it, a piece of hardware cloth. Some people will take foil, like if you took a poster, of course you don't want anymore, and you covered with foil and put it behind here. They use it as a reflector. Some people say that works better. I don't know. I took off my hardware cloth screen because I was hoping that I could actually get Albany and Springfield on the same direction, but it didn't work, so I wasn't going to put it back on. I'm taking it down, blah blah blah. So this is just a quickie. I thought it was pretty cool to see this actually. Person selling it for $25. You're probably not going to get much more than that. You probably won't get it for it at all. But because people are looking at it going, you know, what the frig? You know, I know that I gave my daughter one and she said, "It's an ugly thing, it's ugly. I wouldn't put that in my house, it's ugly." Free TV. It's ugly. I don't want ugly. It's free. Free TV. Free. Because I couldn't get it to work because I couldn't get the antenna above the tree. If I held it outside her window, up as high as I can go, with the amplifier on it. Now the amplifier, like I said, plugs in here, and then by your TV set, you're going to have the other end of the amplifier, which is going to have the power on it, and that'll plug into the line, your coax cable, and then go into your TV tuner, your VCR, you know, whatever you're using to receive your signal. You have to have both parts. Radio Shack has it for about $60. So you could probably make this with scraps you have around your house. This little thingy here will be about $6. You might find it at a dollar store for $1 or $2. You know, coax cable. So, you know, this $25 isn't really a bad deal when you think about it. But I'm not going to buy it. I'm actually thinking about, I want to put up a tower that I can receive radio, like shortwave radio, that kind of thing, for my sophisticated radio that I have for shortwave and weather and stuff. So I'm poking around with designs, but you know, it's a cheap way. So, you know, for $100, say, because you're going to have coax cable and this little gooby, your amplifier, you know, you can have a free antenna. You can also buy, you know, the big ones. Radio Shack has them, and probably other places like Radio Shack or the Channel Master has some, you know, large scale ones. You can put it on a rotor so you can actually point it at the stations, and then, I mean, that would probably be the ideal way to go with that. But I went with this, and then I had it, and I didn't want to destroy it, so I'm using it. But you could go with a rotor, and then you could point at it. The thing is, the further you're away, you know, the more you're going to need this type of thing, and you're going to need that amp. Some people say that it works for them, but they're kind of in a line of sight. So it's probably too long of a video. I don't know how I'm doing on time here. 12 minutes. Well, you know me, I babble. But this is really cool. It's a really nice idea, and it's cheap. And it works. You know, it's really funny that it works. You know, you look at all kinds of TV antennas, and you know, it is kind of an amazing thing is the fact that it, you know, something that you can make like this and receive the signal. To me, I think is really, really cool. So, ta for now. Oh, and I was watching somebody else's video and he had nobody to hold it. I wanted to have my hand moving around. So I had to get myself something to hold my camera. I'm going to show you what I'm using. And it is a mason jar full of raisins. And that's what I was using so we can get that good angle. Ta-ta for now.